Rise and shine, everybody. Let me know you can hear me. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to come on up into the room, and we're about to have this build, man. All right, so just let me know when y'all here. We're gonna be ready to rock and roll, man. I'm ready for an awesome night of learning, awesome night of digging, see what we find. And it's just always amazing to just, have new perspectives, have your mind open in a way that it's never been open before. Truthfully, family, it's so much to life. It truly is. It's so much to life. Um, so many different ways of looking at things. And I always say it's important to remember that there's more knowledge that we don't have than that we do, right? So I like to live my life in the unknown, knowing that there is more I don't know. And that way I don't take pride in my own knowledge because it is like a grain of sand compared to the beach, compared to all knowledge, right? So the key is try to have an open mind. So maybe you can learn something you've never learned before. All right. Um, Welcome in, everybody. I hope y'all having an amazing day. And I'm going to give you guys a few moments to get into the room. We're gonna have a build. Anybody excited to learn today? While you're in here, go ahead and put your zodiac. Peace, Tip the gift. What's up with you? Let's peace, Lakeisha. What's up with you? I see you up at the very top. Lakeisha does not play, man. Amazing supporter, man. All my supporters was like Lakeisha. All right. It'd be crazy out here in these YouTube, social media streets everywhere. All right. There's always more to learn. You're absolutely right, Mary. So let me give you guys some highlights here. Welcome in. Lakeisha was already here at 7:52, counting down. Look at break room in here as early as 8:50. I'm telling you, man, we ready. They was already communicating. Look at here. Yeah, man. It's about to be really good. Like I said, put your zodiacs down here. I won't stop to break them down just yet. But I just want to know and get familiar with who's in here, man. Get to know you guys by your zodiac. Even if you don't believe in zodiac or whatever, just put them in here. Just flatter me. Okay, Donna Skinner, Gemini, you are in this lesson, Miss Gemini. So you need to hang tight so you can hear yourself. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, everyone hit that like button as you come in. Come on, y'all. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. All right. Cancer. Let me think. Is Cancer in here in this particular story? I believe it is. I believe Cancer does show its face. Okay. Peace to you, I'm chosen. Okay, you said at chat. Peace to the chat. That's what's up. Break room says she's a Scorpio. Scorpio is definitely in here. All right. So okay. Capricorn, I'm not sure. Not sure if Capricorn show itself in this one, but I would definitely share and keep you in mind. And I'll make sure Capricorn is in my next story. Now it might be in this one though. We hang on, let's be sure. All right. Someone that said Jesus. Okay. Jesus will not be talked about in this story. This is about Noah. But I may actually mention and make some references to the one that is Jesus. They do have some similarities. So I think I am going to draw some. I am going to mention Jesus. I am going to mention Jesus. Okay. So let's see here. She said, at the break room, what's up, beautiful Tiff? I'm chosen as a Scorpio too. Okay. Tiffany's a Sagittarius. All right. Sag, might be in here. Sherry Lee is a Cancer. Said peace, Kevin in the chat. Hang with Miss D. Peace to you. Let's see here. Virgo, what's up with it, man? Dwayne. Virgo will be, slightly mentioned here, man. I'm only going to go with what Noah's Ark is about. And if we got enough time, and if you guys are intrigued enough and want to see more, we may let you guys guess your own story, and then we'll explore that story there. But this one I've kind of taken the last couple of days to prepare for, so you'll really like this. There's an app called Sky Tonight. Okay, I want everybody to look at your phones, and I want you to go into your app store and type in Sky Tonight. Not anything you necessarily got to download right now because it may take you off of here, but if you can download it right now, go ahead and do that. I'd like for you guys to be able to go with me in here. This app is amazing. It has the planetary bodies inside of it, and you can actually point your phone in any direction, whether that be at the sky, the floor, all around you, and see all the zodiacs around you, right? Just like you got the sky above your feet and the ground under your feet, on the other side of you is the sky, right? It's still space all around the earth. And so you're able to just kind of go all around and see all these beautiful zodiacs and see way more than the 12 that we talk about in our Western hemisphere. There's so many more zodiacal signs than just 12, family. All right. So I promise you guys, Taurus will definitely be mentioned in this story. So you'll love this, Lakeisha. Make sure you hang on here. Gemini is mentioned. Yes, ma'am, it is. Let's see here. It said peace and blessings, King Kim, Jamie Chene, Lacey Rise, and everyone. Smoking Conversations with Sakina. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Break room speaking back to Chosen. Dope. You are a Libra. Okay, it's an amazing sign. My daughter is a Libra. I'm not sure Libra's talked about in this story, but it may be. Gemini, June the 1st. Wow, early June, Gemini. That's amazing. And your number is 7 there. That's a strong number. It's a strong number. It means completion or creation. Let's see here. Libra gang. Welcome in, Libra gang. See here, Virgo. Tracy's a Virgo. Dolores, there's a lot of Virgos out here, man. What's up, my Virgo family? I know I'm a Virgo. I'm an early Virgo. I'm August 26th Virgo. When are you Virgos born? Let's see here. Barbara, Gemini, June the 2nd. You're right behind her, huh? The very next day. And your number would be 8. That's 6 and 2. And that is also a powerful number. Yes, I'm here for sure. Great. Pisces, February the 21st. Just doing a little bit of talk about Pisces on Miss White's channel. Pretty dope too. King Kev don't want to discuss Judas again. Okay. It ain't as bad as you think, though. I promise you. Once you understand it more, it's just a story. Yeah, it's called Sky Tonight. Chosen. I'm Chosen. Leo, August the 2nd. Early Leo. Peace. I feel welcome into the chat, love. Yep, Sky Tonight. You guys, let me know if y'all have the app. Let me know if you downloaded the app. Just put downloaded. And if you did download it, I want you guys to really stay in tune, because I want you to kind of let the rest of the chat know that you see what I'm showing you guys. Okay? So that's important to me, that you guys can actually see what I am revealing to you. And if you can see that, I believe it's going to be really, really dope. You feel me? And we just get into it, man. So I have that app. It's great, but gives my sister anxiety. It's very difficult to kind of work. Tiff, if you're just holding the app and pointing it around, but I like to hit that compass, and you can stop it and kind of move it around with your thumbs too. So if you guys get the app, there is like a little compass in the right-hand corner at the bottom, sort of, where you can hit that app and just use your you can hit that point right there of the the compass, and then you can use your thumb to move it around. And even then, it's not the easiest. It's a big old sky family. So and there's so many of them, but you guys are going to see a lot today. I promise you, man. Let's get excited. I'm going to show this because I did some clips myself and kind of put them up here so you can see what the app looks like. And so while you guys are doing that, I'm going to kind of just let this play, and we're going to talk about kind of what we see around the stars. And you know how they say, as above, so below. I want you guys to, just kind of relax and go along with me here. I'm not trying to tell you that what you have been believing in your whole life, if you are a Bible believer, that it's incorrect or anything. I'm telling you that there's more than one perspective. So one perspective is that it's literal. It's 100% literal. These characters actually existed, and they did these things that the Bible says that they did. Another look at this is it's as above, so below. So while these things were potentially happening on Earth, they were happening in the stars too, as we are all motivated and kind of moved by the stars, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And that's kind of like the idea of it. Okay, so I'm going to do this live without challenging anyone's beliefs, and hopefully you guys can hear this without feeling challenged. Too many times we've been raised to believe that the zodiac is an evil thing. It predates your Bible by hundreds of thousands of years. And so most of these religious texts that you see that come before the Bible are written about the stars. And what many people have learned is that so is the Bible. Okay, so today we're going to read Noah's Ark. And of course, you guys read it as a man who obeyed God, built an ark that ended up saving the entire world, as that world was lived and survived through his family. I'm going to read it to you today from the standpoint of Noah is a representative of the celestial body, or the celestial embodiment of the sun. Noah is a character, a mythological character based on the sun as it goes through Taurus. Now I'm going to show you this story. And again, I am not saying that Moses is not a literal person, but we're going to read this from the perspective of the celestial being that the sun is portraying right now as Noah. And the sun plays many, many roles. It's a very talented actor, family. In every single story that we read in these books, it actually is the sun with a mask on playing a different character. They are talking about the sun. Okay. But we're going to get into this one little clip here, and I'm just going to go and get started, man. I know y'all sitting here like, bro, will this man get going? Will he get going, man? Here we go. I want you guys to watch this. This is just me outside. I don't even know if you care that I'm outside, because it'll look the same way either way. But you see Canis Major. These are all, this is a constellation inside of our star, inside of our celestial skies. It's called Canis Major. That, of course, is where Sirius is located in the Dog Star, but this is Canis Major. But I just want to show you guys, even though you're going to see images of animals and men and different things, these shapes and things exist, and you can Google them at any time if you want to. And like I said, I believe this is going to be very intriguing for you guys. All right, so let's. That right there is where the sun was at the time that I was doing this video. So this sun moves throughout the day in this app, and you can always find out exactly where the sun is, even if you don't see it, because it'll be represented by a really bright light, and you can see where it is. And so you can imagine back in the day having access to seeing all these stars in your night sky. You don't have a TV or anything. So when they're looking at these stars, this is your entertainment, family. So it was very important to them to observe these stars and write about them. All right, so let's continue. So we can see Mercury, and we can see Aries right here. We see Taurus. Now, guys, I want you in your mind, I want you to think about the story of Noah before we even get into it. It was the sons of God finding women who they deemed beautiful, sleeping with those women, and having giants, Nephilims. And the whole world was said to be corrupt in their generations, in their gene rations, right? Their DNA was messed up because they were fornicating with the sons of God, right? Creating these big beasts, these giant men, right? The app, Alicia B, is called Sky Tonight. Everybody download that app, okay? And you guys will be able to follow along. Welcome in, Queen Jamie. I see both of my lovely queens are in here tonight. It's going to be a dope breakdown, yo. Let's go. Yeah, let's get to it. I forgot what I was even saying. Let's see here. So again, guys, download the app. As you can see, I'm looking at Taurus and all these things. Here's what I was saying. Remember the story of Noah's Ark, right? Sons of God impregnating women, creating Nephilim, and God choosing Noah because Noah was perfect in all of his generations. And God tells Noah, of course, to build an ark. And in 150 days, it's going to be a storm, and it's going to rain for 40 days, 40 nights, right? And of course, it's going to rain for 40 days, 40 nights. And then that is going to last for 150 days until of course, the water begins to dissipate, and then the ark settles back down to the earth. But before that, he had to round up 2 of each animal, and then 7 of each kind, and then he had to get food for them, and then he had to send out doves and ravens and things to test and see if there was land. I'm sure you guys remember that story, right? And so as you guys are remembering this story, I don't know if you guys actually have read the Bible. I've studied it thoroughly. I know this story pretty much off the top of my head, but we are going to read it. But I want you guys to just kind of look at the celestial bodies around here, around Taurus, and you'll see exactly why we start off here right around in Taurus. And you'll notice it's because, well, the Bible tells us to. But let's continue. Hang on, let me get back to my point. So guys, right here, you see what they call, you see it's dark here, light here. This is called the celestial line, okay? Right here. So when you're up here, remember I told you guys, if you're looking at a clock, you can imagine this right here being 8, 9, 10. I'm sorry, this would be 10, 11. No, this would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And so 7, 8, 9. So basically, imagine it's a clock right here center wise. And hang on, my bad. Imagine there's a clock right there, a circle. And imagine that is a clock, right? Right here. When the sun is up in these parts, it's above the celestial line. When they're down here, it's night. They're below the celestial line. So when you hear about characters, you will notice when they do negative things, they are 6 years old. It was for 6,000 years. It was when they were in their lowest cusp. You will notice that at their greatest moments, they were 12. When they did amazing things, they were always 12 or 9 or, 3, because these are above the celestial line, but the other numbers are below it, right? And so I just want you guys to understand what the celestial line is. And, let's just say on the other side of the earth, the planet is here. When we're having our summer and days, on the other side of the planet, it's black, right? It's dark, right? So let's go. So you can see Taurus, you can see Aries here. Notice you see the number 12 here. Taurus, you see the Centurion, Orion. You see Hydra right here, that long snake that was right here. And look at you have here. Did you see what I saw? Below the celestial line is a boat. Right outside of Canis Major. Okay. Let's continue. That's amazing. It was 12:45 when I was doing this. You can't make this up, family. It was 12:45, April the 6th, 24th. So that's 6, 6, 12, which is 12, 45, which is 9, all multiples of 3. You can't make this up. I didn't even know that to just now. My life always lined up with 3, so it's mind-blowing. It's telling you what time it will be when the sun is here, what time it will be when the sun is here. So the app is very good, as you can see. Notice here you got Genesis 2, right? And this is in your star alignment, okay? Let's continue. That beautiful bird right here. See that beautiful bird right there, y'all? Let's keep going. See this right? Y'all see that right there? Kind of highlighted right there. That's called the Milky Way. Now, remember, I told you guys that in Egypt, when Moses is leaving the Egypt and going through Mount Sinai, they're looking for the land of milk and honey, and they are there for 40 days and 40 nights to get the 10 commandments, and they end up trapped for 40 years looking for the Milky Way. Why 40? Why does it keep doing 40? You're going to notice that Noah is also rooted in Taurus, and which is a cardinal sign, which is why you keep getting 40. And this celestial body right here now doesn't represent the land of milk and honey. It now represents flooding or rain. And we'll get into that as the time goes on. But I want you guys to notice the Milky Way right here. Okay, let's continue. And every time the sun is in this area, in the Bible, in any book, you're going to hear stories about either milk and honey, flooding, raining, things of that nature, family. A river, a great river, you'll hear that as well. Let's continue. And this is why you get flood stories everywhere. In every religion, they have a flood story, okay? But let's continue. Look at there. Look, guys. So as you come up from here, from the boat, you got Orion right here. Orion is a giant, okay? This is why you get the sons of God, right? The Nephilim, the giants that roam the land, okay? So you see these men mentioned here. You got to imagine when they would tell these stories, they're watching the sun go throughout the zodiac and go through these constellations, and that's why they're naming those things. So if they're anywhere around them as well, they'll be mentioned. So they tie in all of these stories. Okay, it's really mind-blowing, man. It's amazing that our ancestors were able to create this, years ago. So I encourage you guys to, like I said, when you're looking at this, I tell you, man, send some honor up to your ancestors. They were amazing. If you guys only knew how much of our life was built off of these studies, it's absolutely unreal. It will blow your ever-loving mind. All right, but let's continue. Gemini right here, the two brothers, the twins. This is important too, Gemini, and you'll see why. You got Cancer right below that. Canis Minor out here. Starlink, 3, 1, 5 is 15, which means 6. And the other 6 makes it a multiple of 3, right? So if you're going to round this down, that's 6, 6, which is 12. That's 3, makes it 33. It won't make it 6 because 33 is a master number. So this is Starlink 33, right? Right here at the Gemini. Let's continue. It goes Scorpio right there. It goes Gopher. Now you hear when they say make it out of gopher wood, right? This is why this is said, family, because there's a gopher in the zodiac. Let's continue. See this big gopher? Did you see him? Right here. Another giant. A woman, the sons of God saw women, deemed them beautiful, began sleeping with them, creating giants, which was called the Nephilim. Look up the name for Orion. Okay. Look up, is Orion also referred to as Nephilim? Ask the question. Just ask Google. Watch what it tell you. Let's continue. Notice Corvus right there. Corvus is the raven that was sent out of the ark. These are here the beasts now. The beasts were being made because sons of God were sleeping with the women and giving and creating Nephilim, which are giants, which were beasts of the land. Right? So these men are not right in their generations, but the son was pure, or Noah was pure in his generations. Right? Let's continue. He goes, Ophiuchus, another giant holding the snake bearer. There goes Hercules, another giant. There goes giraffe. Now look, notice this, the Camelopardalis, and this is also referred to as the camel. What's the other name for it? Lacey, I showed you this the other day. If you can remember, type it into the chat. So you got to see, we call a giraffe, right? They called it a camel because its face kind of looks like a camel, right? And the other one was I can't think of the name of it. I'm sure Lacey might remember. If she does it, I'll look it up again and tell you. But it's amazing how it was called a little bit something different. But it's called the camel, camelo. No, that I'm right. The camel leopard, right? The Camelopardalis. See, the Camelopardalis, the spotted camel. You see it? Is what it's called. Ain't that dope? We just call it a giraffe, but they combined two animals that they see on a normal basis, and it was a camel and a leopard, right? The Camelopardalis. Another woman is out here too, Cassiopeia. Right here, she's laying back kind of. Cepheus, another giant. Another bird. A panther. And I'm showing this, I want you guys to see that it's so many animals around. That's why it's incorporated. Another woman, when she appears to be in chains. Here goes Pegasus, another beast. There goes Andromeda, another woman. And that's the one that's in chains right here. Now, I'm just kind of giving you guys a brief overview of the skyline so before we get into the story. So just hang tight. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to go to the story of Noah. We're going to read a little bit, and then we're going to come back to this a little bit and kind of just go from there. Okay. And that way we can really get to the bottom of this. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see here. Let me get back here. Okay, I think we're ready to rock and roll. Welcome in, Lupac. I just saw you. Welcome in, Miss Jimmy Jim, Terry Dow. Peace to you, Teresa. Sorry, guys. I have it pulled up, but I'm actually over there on the video, And so I'm not looking at the chat while I'm doing all of that. And thank you so much for the super chat, Lakeisha. You always are amazing. Thank you so much. He said, I know it took time to study this. I wouldn't understand it on my own. You're an amazing teacher. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to give y'all about 5 years of information in this one little live. Okay. And I'm going to make it so easily digestible because we're just going to skim the surface. Okay. So, but it took me years to grasp this. First, I had to fully understand the Bible. I had to fully understand it. I had to read it every day and study it in depth and learn the Septuagint. Okay. I had to learn every bit of it through a biblical aspect. And then I went and studied zodiac way later. And when I studied that thoroughly, because I had so much biblical knowledge, this is when I could see it. This is when I could finally see it. But this ain't something you could just trip and fall upon. Okay. So I'm really doing a lot by even presenting this information because I can be ridiculed online everywhere. People can call me pseudo and call me crazy. And so this is something I've been studying for a long time. My wives have been trying to encourage me. You should teach this, Kevin. You should teach this. But nevertheless, family, let me get to that other one so we can present that to you. So we're going to go with Genesis. The story begins in 5:29. So we're just going to read some, okay? And he called his name Noah, saying, the name shall comfort us concerning our work and toil. Now, I told you guys that Noah comes in and about Taurus, okay? And so you hear this. I told you guys last time, when you're in Taurus, they often speak of work being equally yoked, okay? Enslavement is often a word that's used because it's about doing labor. It's represented by a bull family. That bull is pulling a yoke, okay, and it's tearing up the ground for planting seeds. The ox and the bull was used as a tool. So it's men who wrote this now. So they're going to use that ox as for what they use it for, and they're going to kind of superimpose their ideas on the heavens. So you have to understand this is through the mind of us. It's beautiful and it's subjective, okay? The bull is certainly not a tool for us, but we have certainly learned to utilize it as that. I don't even think we know what a cow is for if we ain't eating one, which shows you that, you know, well, we actually made the cow, so I guess we ain't too wrong for that. But most animals, we don't see them unless we can see our use for them. But anyway, let's go. And he called his name Noah, saying, the same shall comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands. Notice that Noah's life was really built around him working. Okay, so which shows you that he's a bull, he's a Taurus, because of the ground, which is a cardinal ground, cardinal earth sign, which the Lord had cursed. Lamech lived after, and he begot Noah 595 years, and he begot sons and daughters. Okay, now 595 years, right? I want you guys to think about this. 595 years. So 5 and 5 makes 10. Make it 15 when you add the 5 to it. That becomes 4, right? Add 4 to 9 and you got 13, which gives you 4. They tell you all day Taurus is represented by the number 4, right? The same number, same amount of numbers on top is on bottom. It's a round number, and it definitely is a money number, right? And we know that, you know, Taurus is going to make some money now. All right. It's a very lucky number. But anyway, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Lamech were 777 years, which is 21. 7, 7, and 7 makes 21, which is 3, family. And these numbers are always going to keep coming back around, okay? And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. 5 is a very significant number. It means perfection. This number is applied to your hands and feet. This is why we say we are the great ratio. In fact, number 5 also means Teo, which is where you put Ra in front of that, which is the sun, and you put Teo. And that's why you say we are the perfect ratio. We are the sun. We are the sun. Literally, we inherit, we feed off of the sun. We absorb the sun. The sun fuels our plants. And it's outside of our solar system, but yet we need it to survive. We literally eat the sun. Okay, we are the ratio, right? The ratio. Let's go to the next chapter. 6, and it came to pass when men began to multiply the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and he took them as wives of all, which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. So when you start getting to Noah, you start seeing these threes now, because Noah's representation of the Trinity, the Son. Okay. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, they became mighty men, which were of old men and of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of the man was great in the earth, and that in every imagination of thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord. The Lord felt bad for making man. It repented the Lord, and that he had even made man on the earth, and it grieved him and his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing and fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But here comes Noah's favor with God. Okay, but why did Noah have favor? Watch this. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was just a man, but perfect in his generations. You'll hear this same term being used on Jesus, being used on John the Baptist, being used on Abraham, because this is when the Son is embodying, is being embodied by a person. Okay. But anyway, and Noah walked with God, and Noah begot how many sons? 3. 3 sons. I keep telling you this number 3 is very significant. Okay. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Now, and God said unto Noah, the end of the flesh comes before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. This is a cardinal earth sign, family. Okay, cardinal earth sign. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Okay, now I've showed you guys the gopher that sits around the zodiac, and I want to show you guys a few of these things, because when we go, we're going to go and look at them. We're going to see a little bit, and then we're going to come back and read a little bit. Okay, and if you don't like reading the Bible, that's your problem now. Okay, so made an ark of gopher wood. Room shall thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without the pitch. Now watch this. And this is the fashion in which thou shalt make of it. This is important, because this ark is not big enough to house 2 of every single animal on the planet. So why is this story told? Because they could have given you a big enough boat. Okay. Noah's ark is supposedly rained and flooded the entire planet at the same time. Imagine this earth completely consumed all the way around it with water, where the water covers up the highest mountain peak, which is Mount Everest, to the point to where you can't even breathe that high. The temperature up there is freezing. Every animal would have died. Noah would have died. Okay, now this is if it were a literal event. So you have to understand this. These numbers ain't going to make sense. So don't get upset here. Okay, so look, and this is the fashion in which thou shalt make of it. This is poetic. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits. You see that? Its breadth 50 cubits. Okay, and the height 30 cubits again. 1 window shall you make with the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt set in the side thereof. With the lower, second, and third stories thou shalt make it. So it's 3 stories tall. Okay, and behold, I even do bring flood waters upon the earth. And this is right here at the Milky Way. Okay, to destroy all flesh wherein is my breath of life. From under heaven. Now, again, the boat was under the celestial line, right? And everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee, I will establish my new covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and my sons and my son's wife with thee, and of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort. This is when you come into Gemini and you get poetic talk, because you're coming into Gemini right here. And I'm going to show you guys another little thing, okay? That's very poetic how they said you're going to use 2 of each animal, okay? But I'm going to show you how they do this again, all right? So let's go here. We're going to remember where we are. We are at Genesis 6. So let's go here to Acts 28. This is another time that this same thing is told, but in a different way. Okay, so I want to show you guys this. We're going to go down here. It's talking about Paul and the life of Paul. Paul right now is the physical embodiment of the sun, right? The celestial body. So we're going to go down here to number 11, verse 11, and look what happens with Paul. Paul arrives at Rome, and after the 3 months, we departed in a ship of Alexandria, which had wintered in the isle, whose sign was Castor and Pollux. Now I want you to understand, many of you might look at this and say, well, Kevin, what that mean? But this is why I say you can't just read the Bible. And landing there at Syracuse, we tarried there for 3 days. Why 3 again? This is a whole different storyline, but about Paul. Now watch this. And after 3 months, we departed in a ship of Alexandria. You got to really pay attention when it's talking about the celestial bodies, which had wintered in the isle, whose sign was Castor and Pollux. Now, whose sign was Castor and Pollux? Now, I'm going to show you something. We're reading in the King James Version. We're going to go NIV, the New International Version. Let's see what it says here. After 3 months, we put out to sea in a ship that had wintered in the island. It was the Alexandrian ship, with a figurehead of the twin gods, Castor and Pollux. Now that's amazing because the other one just said it had Castor and Pollux on the front of this boat as like an emblem, like a Mercedes emblem. They had twin gods on this boat. But notice how now it says twin gods, Castor and Pollux. So let's just keep going. Now, most of you guys only got one Bible at home, right? So let's go with the New Living Testimony. New Living Translation, forgive me. It was 3 months after the shipwreck, and we set sail on another ship that had wintered at the island of the Alexandrian ship with the twin gods as its figurehead. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's see what this one says. I forget the name of this translation right here, but let's see here. 11 says, after 3 months, we set sail on the Alexandrian ship that we had wintered on the island, and it had the twin brothers as a figurehead. Whoa. I mean, guys, just guess who you think we're talking about. I'll come read your comments in a minute, but go ahead and type that in. We're going to skip King James Version because we were just there, and just to be sure we were reading King James, we ain't going to skip King James Version. I lied. So look, whose sign was Castor and Pollux. It doesn't say twin sign, the twins, Castor and Pollux. It doesn't say brothers, Castor and Pollux. It doesn't say twin gods, Castor and Pollux, and it doesn't say as figureheads. So it's kind of really hard to understand here, right? Let's see what this version says. It says that it had the twin brothers for its figurehead. It doesn't even say Castor and Pollux. It doesn't say gods. It simply just said it has a twin brothers for its figureheads. Now I'm going to go look in the chat. Let's see who so far got who they could be talking about. Who's the twin brothers as the figureheads, guys? Who's Castor and Pollux? Because we're reading a story about Paul, saying that Paul came into Rome and saw a boat that had Castor and Pollux on the front as its figureheads. Come on, guys, guess. Who do we think Castor and Pollux is? Go on, honey. Take a chance. Out of all the zodiac family, who represents the twins? Come on, y'all. Put your thinking caps on. Trying to catch on. This is hard. I'm so sorry. I'll try to slow down. I'll try to make it, because this can be difficult if you've never studied it. Okay, this will help right here. Okay, so we've heard so far about Noah, right, and the ark. Let's go here, but I want to show you guys something that's very important that I show you guys this. All right, so we're at 524, but I'm going to show you guys something. Here's Gemini, okay? So let's hit play. Here's the Gemini. Here we go. Now watch this, guys. Here's Gemini. Notice that one of the stars that represent Gemini is called Castor. So Pollux is right here. Castor is right there. Now here's Pollux. Pollux, it says, is an orange giant star, approximately 34 light years from the Earth, in the constellation of Gemini, the twins. Pollux is the brightest star in the constellation, brighter than Castor, which is the Alpha. As of 2006, Pollux was confirmed to have an extrasolar planet orbiting it. So they're talking about Pollux right here. Let's continue. Okay, so hang on. So here's Pollux. Okay, 34 light years from the Earth in the constellation of Gemini twins. Pollux is the brightest star in the constellation, brighter than Castor. Okay, so I just read that one. I thought it was going to be shown. Hang on. Okay, here we go. So here's Castor. Now, it is the second brightest star in the constellation of Gemini, okay, and one of the brightest stars in the nighttime sky. Although it has the Bayer designation Alpha, it is actually fainter than Beta. Now, this is why you say it's masculine and feminine energy, or they have a split in personality, because Gemini is ruled by two stars, not seven, two. Some zodiacs are made up of 7 or 8 stars and things of that nature, but it's two stars attached to Gemini, and it's Pollux and Castor. Now, for those of you guys who may say that's confusing, believe me, it may be, because I just read you from the Bible that the figureheads on the front of that boat was Pollux and Castor, right? And I can show you guys that even if I were to show you about Jesus, when Jesus came to meet James and John on the boat as his first 2 disciples, he was in Gemini. And this is why James and John was on a boat. And if you look them up, they are twins. Okay. In fact, whenever he met Thomas, it was during Gemini. And if you look Thomas up, they will tell you Thomas is a twin. Okay. But let's go back to this point right here. Because we're going to start from the beginning of Noah's Ark, okay? So here we are, guys. So many people are aware of the biblical account of the great flood sent by God to destroy mankind. Okay. Some individuals, even today, they spend vast amount of time and money in an attempt to find physical evidence of Noah's Ark. But in this video, I want to suggest to you that the biblical flood is a parable about the sun and its movement throughout the sky. Okay. The story is centered around the figure that we know as Noah. Noah, of course, is a parable. His character is a personification of the sun. This can be understood by looking at a lot of the Bible studies, such as Genesis 6 and 9. And so, and of course, I've read you guys that one where it said that he was perfect in all his generations. But I'm going to show you when this story starts. When this story starts, we're in Aries, and it says that Noah received a flood warning from God on the 22nd of the 2nd month. Okay. And that's going to be important. All right. Because you start off in Aries. All right. So, excuse me, Noah received the flood warning on the 10th day of the second month. And so that takes you from Aries into Taurus, which starts us off here in Taurus. Okay, let's continue. Seven days later, on the 17th day. Now, 7 days later, as the centurion here, which is a giant, he's represented by 7 stars. Okay, and that's why it's 7 days later. Okay, hang on, let's continue. The rain begins to fall for 40 days and 40 nights in this story, and we're gonna get to the back. We're gonna go back to the story. But I want you guys to notice this. Here are the giants and all around him. These are the people also that you have to convince that there's going to be a storm. But we're in Aries. We started off in that second month, and now 7 days later, you're going to go down into watch this. You're going to see the Milky Way right close by. I'm going to show you guys this. Here's the boat. That's the boat that Jonah has to board. Now, right now, it's under the celestial body. Okay, let's continue. So I showed you guys that. We'll move past that now. Now you're getting 2 of each kind. That's where you get this story. Put 2 of each kind. Okay. And then it comes back through Orion. So 7 is mentioned again because you have to get 7 of each plane. Oh, I thought I was past that part. Now this is just me using my actual app and showing you guys this, okay? And so now listen, when it floods for 40 days and 40 nights after being in the Milky Way, it brings us over to Scorpius because it's 150 days that the flood takes place. So by the time that Noah starts sending out the ravens and everything, now we're over here in Scorpio, okay? Because 150 days later, it's going to take you from Taurus over into Scorpio, okay? Let's continue. And so here's the raven that Noah had to send out. Let's go back to doing a little bit of Bible reading so we ain't lost. Hang on. Okay, so let's go back to okay. Here we go. Now it came to pass that mankind began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them. And the sons of God saw that the daughters of mankind were beautiful, and they took them wives unto themselves, whomever they chose. When the Lord said, my spirit will not remain with man forever, because he is also flesh. Nevertheless, his days shall be 120 years, and 1 + 2 makes 3, right? The Nephilim, the giants of the earth, were on the earth in those days. And so afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of mankind, they bore children to them. Those were mighty men who were old and men of renown. And the Lord saw wickedness of mankind and was great on earth, and he had every intent of the thoughts of their hearts was evil continually. I've read that. Let's see, we got down to, let's see here. Again, Noah are the records of the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in all his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah fathered 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I think I read that whole chapter. Let's go on back over here to chapter 7. Okay, let's see here. You shall, okay, here we go. Then the Lord said to Noah, enter the ark, okay, and you and all your household, for you alone I have seen to be righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 pairs of every clean animal, okay. Now this is when you're going through the constellation of Orion. It is marked by 7 stars, okay. Now you're gonna, when you guys hear about Revelation, and it scares everybody, when you see, I saw an angel that was bearing 7 stars, and it had a serpent that was around its shoulders, around its head. I'm telling you guys, it's talking about celestial bodies. It's nothing to fear. All right. And I'll break down Revelations as the finale to this teaching. Okay. A male and his female of the 2 animals that are not clean, and a male and his female. That are not clean, a male and his female. Also, the birds of the sky, 7 pairs, male and female, to keep their offspring alive on the face of the earth. But after 7 more days, another 7 days, I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe you out of the face of the land of every living thing that I have made. Noah acted in accordance to everything that the Lord had commanded him to do. Now, Noah was how many years? 600 years old when the flood came upon the earth. So he's in the lower stage now. When I told you, when they talk about these men being 600 and things like that, this is showing you that they are, it's dark, okay? It's dark, so the sun is seen as its weakest, so you're going to get the worst behaviors from the sun by narration. This is why Judas is Jesus. They're one and the same, but at 6, Judas betrays, and he does it for 30 coins, right? Which shows you that it's the moon, because it gives you those silver coins. But on here, the dove is the moon. Let's continue though. 600 years old when the flood water came upon the earth. Then Noah and his wives and sons and his sons' wives with him entered the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of the clean animals that are not clean, of the birds and everything that crawls on the ground, they all went into the ark by 2s, male and female, and God commanded Noah. Now it is about after seven more days, then the waters of the flood came upon the earth, and then in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, which is Taurus again, on the 17th day of the month, on that day of all fountains of the great deep burst open, and the floodgates of the water were opened, because now we're beginning the flood. The floodgates of the water were open, which were in the Milky Way, and it fell upon them for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, if I read to you guys the story of Noah, not Noah, but Moses, you're going to see that when they were looking for the land of milk and honey, that they were yet trapped for 40 years looking for the land of milk and honey. So here they are. The floodgates were open to the Milky Way, and the rain fell for 40 days and 40 nights. So it's a poetic way to tell you that the sun is traveling through Taurus, down through Gemini and Cancer and so forth and so on. That's why the flood's coming, because we're going through Cancer. All right. That's why the Milky Way is going to be used as a flood, because we're also going through Cancer. But in the very same day, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives, and his sons with them, entered the ark. Okay. And they and every animal according to its kind, all of the livestock according to their kind, every crawling thing that crawls on the earth according to its kind, every bird according to its kind, and all sorts of birds. So they went into the ark to Noah by 2s in all flesh. Now, why do they have to go in by 2s? Why not just 2 of every animal? This is because the sun, they're going to make account for this Gemini. That's why they're doing that. It's poetic, family, and I think it's dope. I think it's beautiful. That's why I love the Bible. I think it's amazing. It's enlightening, and you have to go through so many levels of understanding to truly be able to grasp this book. Okay, but all flesh in which there was breath, which there was the breath of life. Those that entered, male and female of flesh, entered as God had commanded him, and the Lord closed the doors behind him. Then the flood came, and it came upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. The water increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose above the earth. Now it's telling you this because when the sun goes into Scorpius 150 days later, the boat will appear to be above the celestial line. See, right now the boat is below the line, but whenever you go into Scorpio, when the sun is in Scorpio, and I'll show you this, it'll be amazing. You guys see how the boat is below the celestial line right now, right? And we're into Taurus right now. We're in Taurus right now. That's amazing, right? We just came into Taurus, and you can see that the boat is below the celestial line by looking at the app, right? And when we get to Scorpio, we'll revisit this and we'll see exactly where the boat is. And I bet you guys it's above the celestial line. Okay. So here we are. And if you just came into the chat, you're not going to understand celestial line and things like that. I've shown that earlier in this this teaching, so you have to go back. Okay. But it increased upon the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water, and the water prevailed more and more upon the earth, so that all the high mountains everywhere under the heavens were covered. The water prevailed 15 cubits higher. 15 cubits higher. 15 is 6. 15 cubits higher than the tallest mountains were covered. So it was 15 feet higher than Mount Everest, okay? So all the creatures that moved on the earth perished. Birds, livestock, animals, and every swarming thing that swarms upon the earth, and all of mankind, of all that dry land, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit, had all who has nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life, died. So everyone who breathed died. So he wiped out every living thing that was upon the face of the land, from mankind to animals and crawling things and birds of the sky, and they were wiped out from the earth, and Noah was left together with those in the ark. And the water prevailed upon the earth for 150 days. 150 days. So that's why you have to go 150 days from today would put us in Scorpio. Okay. Each month is about 30 days. So you got about 6 months until then. All right, let's continue. But God remembered Noah and all the animals of the livestock, and they were with him in the ark, and God caused the wind to pass over the earth, and the water subsided. So now we're in Scorpio, where the water is going to subside. We're right there between Scorpio and Sag and Libra. We're in that area, okay? And we're right past Virgo. And you're going to notice they say that Noah was raised up in the bosom of a maiden. And this is letting you know that in this time, the sun is about to heal, because now Virgo's giving birth to the sun. Mary is giving birth. And it's not Mary. Of course, it's Noah's mother. But he was raised in the bosom of a maiden. And this is why it's said, because we got to go through Virgo. But anyway, also the mountains and the deep and the floodgates of the skies were closed, and the rain from the sky was restrained. And the water receded steadily from the earth. And the end of 150 days, the water decreased. Right? So at the end of 6, the water decreased. Right? And in the 7th month, on the 7th day of the month, the ark rested upon the mountains now of Arad. And the water decreased steadily until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains became visible again. Then it came about the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent out a raven. Okay, now watch this. Now we're going to go back to the celestial bodies on the app. And this is Corvus, guys. Now look at this. Let's go back to a little bit before we get to Corvus, so we can just kind of see what's around it. We've gone into Scorpius now, because we are 150 days from Taurus. So now we're in Scorpio. The sun is now in Scorpio. And then when it's in Scorpio, this is when Noah sends out a raven out of his window, which is Corvus. Now you can look up Corvus, you can type it in, it'll tell you Corvus is a raven. Let's continue. Corvus. Corvus is a small constellation in the southern sky. Its name is Latin for raven or crow. It includes 11 stars. Visible. Now notice it said in the 10th month and the 1st day. So it has 11 stars, visible to the naked eye, brighter than magnitude 5.5. It was one of the 48 constellations listed by Ptolemy. Now you guys don't know who Ptolemy is, but he's the person who, he was the first Caucasian king of Africa. Okay, Ptolemy changed everything. Okay, And if you guys don't know who Ptolemy is, it's not the lesson for that. But man, oh man, okay. But anyway, Ptolemy, who only counted 7 stars, and it remains one of the 88 modern constellations with an apparent magnitude of 2.59 Gamma Corvi, also known as the Genea, which is the brightest star in this constellation. And if I show you guys Scorpio, you'll notice that Scorpio is also represented as an eagle. Okay, Scorpio was an eagle long before it was a scorpion. Okay, and that's why you see the scorpion and the eagle often used in these stories. And sometimes they talk about an eagle, sometimes they talk about a scorpion. Okay, but Scorpio, if Tiff, you're in the room, if you look up Scorpio and type in Scorpio eagle, it will tell you that an eagle is also, and it's crazy, but we mostly say Scorpio, but in most cases, people call the Scorpion constellation an eagle. And I'm gonna show you too. Watch this. Tip to give. Type it in. Type in Scorpio eagle, and what you see, it's a scorpion and an eagle. It's interchangeable. Okay, its big old claws are seen as the bird's wings, and its tail is seen as the bird's neck in some cultures. So they actually call that an eagle and not a Scorpio, not a scorpion. All right. So, and that's why when I was talking to goodness, I'm chosen, I was trying to say, no, Scorpio is not a bad thing. They just tell these stories however they choose to tell them to enlighten people as to what the sun is doing at that moment. So the higher vibrational version of the Scorpio, or the evolved version, is going to be used as an eagle. But of course, now this is Corvus. This has nothing to do with Scorpio. It's just near Scorpio. So it's of course involved in the story. But let's continue. All right, so again, guys, let's go back to the Bible again. Let me see the teeth. Yeah, there you go, Tiff. See, serpent, eagle, and a phoenix, right? And the phoenix is said to be one of the most powerful. You know that too. So there you go. Serpent, eagle, or phoenix. You're absolutely right. Look at there, yo. That's why I say, listen, guys, we just have to put in a little bit of research into this stuff, and we'll learn so much about this stuff. How many of you guys think it's amazing that the Bible actually said it was Castor and Pollux instead of calling it the Gemini? And what if I told you that if you guys get the King James Version and you get off a line and you go look in your old book, it'll tell you that the Gemini was on that boat, but they took it out. Why did they do that? How come online you can't find the version of it that says the Gemini was on the front of the boat? Why do they say Castor and Pollux and twin gods or the twin brothers? Why they can't just say the Gemini was on the front of the boat? You actually literally have to have the actual Bible in your hand, an old enough Bible in your hand to see it say the Gemini. So this is supposed to be a holy book that they keep changing and modifying to the point to where it loses its power and its essence, man. Do you understand? That shouldn't even be possible. It shouldn't even be possible that the Bible even has a copyright on it, that someone can copyright the Bible. Come on, man, that's crazy. You understand? But let me go back to these scriptures real quick. I think that we have let's see, hang on. Because that's the end of what I have for the celestial bodies. But let me see. Let me play it again. Now do it this way. Hang on. Okay, so hang on. We've just read Noah's Ark. Let's look at this again and see if it makes more sense to you. I'm going to hit play right here. Oh, I know what I was going to look at. 1 second. Thank you so much, Bridget. So let's go back here to the to the scripture here. Okay, so it says, and it came to pass, it came about 40 in by the end of the 40 days, and Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent out of it a raven, and it flew, and there until the water was dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water was low on the surface of the land. Now, this dove here is representative of the moon, okay? And you know this because you have to understand the esoteric meanings of the Bible. It's kind of like last time I told you that stone or mountain means head or skull. That's why Jacob laid his head on a stone before the Lord came and wrestled with him, and he became Israel. This story is also told early in under the constellation of Gemini. So you have twins, then you have men who completely change their nature. That's why you have Abraham and Abram are the same guy. That's why you have Jacob and Israel are the same guy, but they're different personalities. And Jacob is a con artist, but Israel, he's a leader of men, and that's why the 12 tribes come from Israel. Do you understand? Um, if you take Esau, J- uh, Jacob and Esau, notice that Esau was red with red hair. This is talking about a solar eclipse. You understand? It says that Jacob hurry up and beat Esau. No, that Esau hurry up and beat Jacob out of the womb. It's telling you that the moon was over the sun. Okay, because Jacob is the one, but Esau gets born first and tries to steal the birthright. It's talking about a solar eclipse, family. And it's so crazy how they make these amazing stories. And I know for a lot of people that might be offensive, but try and look at it as above, so below. It's not denouncing what you believe happened on earth. It's only adding to it, showing you that it was also happening in the heavens or in the celestial bodies. And many of you guys believe the scripture where it says, what God says. The Bible is giving this credit to God for saying this, that he created the stars in the sky for signs and wonders, right? So if you know, not trying to take your belief, look at it that way, then if it helps you to be able to receive this, okay? But then it came, let's see here. In the 7th month and the 17th day of the month, I want to get back to this, and the water decreased until the 10th month. And the 10th month, on the first day of the month, at the tops of the mountains became visible. Now listen to this. In the 10th month, on the first day, that's 11, family. You notice that, right? That's 11. That's a master number, so you don't reduce it to 2. So the 10th month, first day. Now, then it came to pass at the end of the 40 days and that Noah opened the ark that he had made, and he sent out a raven. So in the 10th month, on the first day, Noah ends up sending out a raven, right? Now watch this. Scorpius, after 150 days, you send out Corvus, send out a raven. And why was it in the 10th month on the first day? Right. And this proves to you that this is talking about um, Scorpius and all these different ones, because it tells you it's in the 10th month on the first day. So that puts you right around that's right around Scorpio. That's definitely Scorpio, right? Because that's Libra next, and then you got Scorpio. So then you go here. It includes 11 stars. On the 10th month, on the 11th day, the 10th month on the first day, Noah sends out a raven because it has 11 stars and it is represented by Corvus or Corvus. You can't make this stuff up, man. You know, let's see here. Hang on. Okay, and a dove. Okay, in the place. Okay, so here we go. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water was low on the surface of the land. But the dove found no resting place for the sole of its foot. So it returned to him in the ark, for the water was on the surface of all the earth still. Then he put out his hand and took it and brought into the ark to himself. So he waited another 7 days longer, 7 days longer. Okay. And again, he sent out the dove. And the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, its beak was a fresh olive leaf. So now it went out and found land. Now you have to understand this. The world was submerged underwater for 150 days, meaning all plant life had died. How on earth was an olive leaf grown back that quickly? This is a poetic story, family. So Noah knew that the water was low on the earth. Then he waited another 7 days longer and sent out the dove. Okay, but it did not return to him again. And why does it keep saying 7? Okay, I keep telling you guys, we have 7 days in our week, 7 planets, 7 chakras. You understand? It's going to always use that. That's God's holy number. God, the Bible's God loves 7. On the 7th day, he rested. The 7th day is holy. It's called Shabbat, or what you may call Sabbath, right? Honor thy Sabbath and keep it holy. That word is 7. Okay. So now it came to pass 601st year, in the first month of the first moon, that the water dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the surface of the ground had dried up. And the second month, and in the second month, on the 27th day. So the 27th day, that's 9. Okay, so in the second month, now we're into Pisces, or almost right there in the Pisces, or Aquarius. At the end of Aquarius, we're in the Pisces. The second month, the 27th day, we're definitely in the Pisces. The earth was dry, and God spake unto Noah, go out of the ark, and your wife and your sons, and your wives with you. Pisces is another sign that is that's feminine and masculine. So here they're using the Pisces and showing you that the sons are now going to be commanded to sleep with their wives so they can bear children for the earth. So this is showing you the representation of the Pisces here. Okay. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh is with you, the birds and the animals and every crawling thing that crawls on the earth, and they may breed abundantly on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with them. Every animal, every crawling thing, every bird, everything that moves on the earth went out by their families from the ark. Then Noah built an altar unto the Lord and took of it every kind of animal. Notice we're coming back around, because we're back around in Pisces, guys. What's coming up next? We're coming back around to Taurus and Aries. So now we got to do some sacrificing, right? So here we go. Noah built the ark to the Lord. We know that in Aries, we have all these different sacrificings, right? Of lamb and things of that nature. So Abraham had to take his son up there to sacrifice him. We know that Aries is the sign of fire, right? So watch this. Noah built an altar unto the Lord and took some of every kind of clean animal and some of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. The Lord smelled the soothing aroma, because the Bible's God is represented by Aries. He loves the smell. And now some of you guys may say, well, I believe this is literal, but do you believe the Bible's God loved the smell of burning animals? You know what I'm saying? So this is a story that's to depict to you that this is the constellation of Aries. This is the house of Aries here. And the Lord said to himself that he will never curse the ground on account of man, for the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and I will never again destroy every living thing as I have done. Okay. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, which is the seasons, okay? The summer, the winter, the cold, the winter and the summer here, the summer and the winter, okay? And the day and night shall not cease. So it's telling you that I won't intervene with it again, okay? I'll let everything go as it goes, okay? Then God said to Noah and his sons, and he said, be fruitful and multiply in the earth. The fear of you and the terror of you will be on every animal of the earth and every bird of the sky, on everything that crawls on the ground, and of all the fish of the sea. They are handed over to you. Every moving thing that is alive shall be food for you. I have given everything to you, as I gave the green plant, but you shall not eat flesh of its life. You should not eat flesh with its life. Its life that is its blood. I certainly will require your life blood from every animal. I will require it, and from every person, from every man as a brother. I will require life of a person. Whoever sheds human blood by man, his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God, he made mankind. Forgive me, guys. As for you, be fruitful and multiply, populate the earth abundantly and multiply in it. And so there you go. That's the end of the story from there. And that is it as we came through the celestial bodies of the sky while looking at Noah's Ark. And I hope you guys can see the similarities and how many of it goes hand in hand. As a treat, I'm going to show you guys this. Miss White was on her show today, and she was talking about Virgo being the physical or the celestial embodiment of Jesus Christ. And I was saying to her, of course it is, man. And so I'm going to show you guys how and why. We know Jesus was born of a virgin. I'm going to show you guys something. You guys ever heard of etymology? It means the study of words. It tells you what the word means when it first started off. Okay. But let's go. So watch this, family. So Jesus was born of a Virgo. Watch this. The etymology of the word Virgo, not virgin, etymology of the word Virgo, an unmarried or chaste woman noted for religious piety and having a position of reverence in the church. From the Anglo-French and Old French virgin Mary, to Latin virginum, nominated a virgin. Virgo, maiden, unwedded girl or woman, also as an adjective, fresh, unused, probably related to virga, young shoot, via a notion of young. Compare. So you see here, but it's telling you that the name, that the word virgin, Virgo, literally meant virgin. Now let's look up virgin etymology. Latin Virgo, the etymology, the creation of the word virgin came from Virgo, right? In terms, Virgo, virgin or virginity were introduced in the English in the 13th century. So Virgo didn't mean virgin. This was introduced in the 13th century. What did Virgo mean? The word comes from an Old French virgin, from root of form of Latin, meaning genitive, virginus, meaning literally maiden. It did not mean virgin as in the sense of the word, as you had never been sexually touched. It meant a woman who does domestic duties, so to speak. So a waitress would be called a Virgo, right? A woman who cleaned homes would be called a Virgo. A woman who nurtured your children, your nanny, all these, you call them Virgos, right? They're unmarried women who make their money off of the community by doing domestic work, right? And so Jesus was born of a Virgo, and Jesus was born in a manger, right? And the reason why is it was the feast of Sukkot. Even in the Bible, it was the feast of Sukkot, and all the Jews were gathered in one spot. And this is why there were no hotel rooms. So it's telling you that in August, which is Africa's new year, everything regrows in Africa in August, not March, like with us in Aries. So that's why we hold Aries in high regard. And in fact, we have January being our new year, and it makes no sense because the earth is still essentially dead from a esoteric perspective. It's still in the womb. It still hasn't re-given life yet. It's still in the cave, right? It's still underground. It's still Jesus who has not risen yet. But so the year should start in March. That should be our first month, but it's not. So it doesn't make any sense really, but you know how Ptolemy and all these different people, these different kings and stuff, move time around. The year didn't always start in January. Okay, it started in March, but in Africa it started in August, and this is why all the harvest and things grow. So Africa says, you know what? That's our new year when everything springs back fresh and new. So that's why Jesus is the bringer of bread, the bringer of life. And I'll show you guys that too. And hopefully you guys can see my screen. We're going to type in Bethlehem, meaning because Jesus is born in Bethlehem. I hate I hit caps like that, messed that word up. But look, here's Bethlehem. Bethlehem. Watch this. Bethlehem means house of bread. Now you've seen the Virgo. It's a maiden holding a sheaf of wheat because she is who heals the land and brings back all of the bread through her son, right? Mary. So you got the house of bread. So Bethlehem, Jesus born in Bethlehem, it's literally telling you Jesus was born in the house of bread. Virgo, another word for Virgo, is the house of bread because every zodiac is in a house, every one of them. So this is the house of bread. You understand? Jesus, the story of Jesus, of course, Jesus always gives these parables about separating the wheat from the tare, why it's important to plant, your plant and don't throw your seeds to the stony ground, to the thorny ground, and by the wayside, and how it's important for a farmer to plant his seed on good ground. Jesus gives all of these parables because he is the Virgo. He breaks bread and feeds it. But what else does Jesus break? Fish. Because Jesus is the story of Jesus is told under the constellation of Pisces. So when you get Jesus's miracles, it's the sun is actually in Pisces, and that's why Jesus walks on water. I'll show you guys. Let's go back here. I'll just type in a bunch of Google things so you can see this. Watch this. Jesus walks on water. Watch this. Pisces on the body. Pisces body chart. Look here. Let's just go astrology. Astrological body chart. We're going to go here. You can look here and you can see at the base of it all, Pisces governs the feet and some bodily fluids, right? So Jesus walks on water, right? His feet walk on water. Jesus washed a lady's feet with his hair, right? In fact, when Jesus owed money, Jesus told the man to go get the money out of a fish's mouth, okay? And then he could keep it and pay both of their taxes with it, okay? There was a tax man who was after Jesus about paying his taxes, and Jesus told him to go fishing, and I think it was like the second fish that you find, look in its mouth, and you will find the coins for both of us. Go pay mine and your taxes. That's what Jesus told him, okay? Because, of course, you're in the story of Pisces. Let me show you guys something. Here's the Jesus fish. You guys see this, right? This image right here. Now, I want you guys to imagine this image continuing and going around again and making a perfect figure 8, which is what I was telling Raven, Miss White's daughter, that the number 8 is a very powerful number. It represents the Ouroboros. But this is the Jesus fish. And why does this represent Jesus as a fish, right? It's showing you that Jesus is under the constellation of Pisces, as the story is told, but he's a Virgo, but the story is told under the age of Pisces, okay? Well, let's see here. What was I going to type in here? So I was saying that the Jesus fish. Definitely seen that. It was something else I was going to type, and it's slipping my mind. It's trying to run from me. What was I about to say? It'll mess around and come to me, family. What was I about to say? I hate when my mind slips like that. So We typed in virgin etymology. We typed in the meaning of Bethlehem. We typed in Pisces on an astrological body chart. Let me read the chat. Let me read the chat. Maybe my thoughts will come back to me. And Dwayne says, dude, are you serious? It's actually blowing my mind because it makes so much sense. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, why don't they teach this in church? You're absolutely right. You brothers are right. And just for giggles, I'm going to show you guys something else too. Here's something that we can do. Name a Bible story. Name a very popular Bible story that you guys know about, that you guys have heard over and over. Just name that Bible story. Name me a popular Bible story. I'll wait for you guys. Name me a very popular Bible story. Case in 566, God is very real, brother. If that is your perspective, I'm not here to deny that. So it's okay. No big deal, man. I'm not here telling people that God is not real. I actually would never do that. So I see Samson and Delilah I read about last time, Kingsdale. So if you go in my lives, you'll see last week on Sunday I did a teaching on the whole story of Samson. So you'll be able to see that there. But someone says David and Goliath. That's a good one. But see, David is the constellation Leo, and I've read that one. Cain and Abel would be a good one too. Let's just play around, okay? We'll play around with it. Pause. So she says, let's go to the Bible. And guys, remember these numbers that you hear over and over, okay? 30, 7, 3, 12, right? So let's go here. The story of David and Goliath starts in 1 Samuel. And I believe the scripture starts, where they really start getting into it, is 17, if I am not mistaken here. Let's see here. Let's see here. I always like to read from the King James Version. Why do you keep taking me back to Genesis, man? Stop playing. Now the Philistines gathered their armies to battle and were gathered together in Shokoah, which belonged to Judah, and pitched between Shokoah and Azekah. And now this story is told about. This is in Leo, okay? And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together, and they pitched by the valley of Eli and set to battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. So it's just kind of setting the scene here. And there was a valley in between them. And there went out a champion. They went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, who was 6 cubits and a span. Why was he 6 cubits, family? Okay, and a half, which is 6 as well. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. Okay, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass, and he had greaves of brass on his legs. And I already told you guys, 5 means perfect in his generations. This is David and Noah is the same. David and Goliath is the same person. Now watch this. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and the target of brass between his shoulders, and the staff of the spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spearhead weighed 600 shekels. Notice that Goliath is six everything, right? Because he is the man. Man is represented by six. Nine represents heaven, six represents hell, or nine represents higher thought, six represents lower man. Six goes like that. The belly of the six is at the bottom. They say 666 is the mark of the beast. They're saying 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons make up the human body. So anytime you hear man depicted, and you can look this up, the number of 6 is man. The number of 9 is heaven or spiritual thought. Okay. So notice Goliath is 6 and 6 and 6 and 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing the shield that went before him. And he stood up and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why ye come out of your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man, for you let him come down to me. What I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna use my app, and I'm gonna show you guys a story and post it. It should be posted by in the Rise. But I think that'll be dope for you guys to hear me read this book first, read this chapter first, and then you guys can go back and see how I show you all these things are up there. And I'm not looking for them. I am looking for them, but I'm not putting them there. Right? They're there. Okay. But if he be able to fight me and kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then ye shall be my servants, or ye shall be our servants and serve us. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of the Israel to this day, and give me a man that we may fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard those who were of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid, because see, Goliath was big, man. He wasn't no joke. And he was dangerous and very strong, right? But he don't know who he's dealing with. This is David he playing with. This, don't let David's size fool you, okay? Now, David was the son of the Ephratite, whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons, okay? Now, he had 8 sons. That makes 9, right? Here we go. Not 9 people. And the man that went among men for the old man in the days of Saul. And there were, look at this. Here we go. We're getting to David. Now look at here. 3 eldest sons of Jesse, and followed Saul to the battle, whose name of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn. The next was Abinadab, and the third one was Shammah. Okay, and David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep in Bethlehem. Right? Notice David messing around in Bethlehem. Why? Why is he in the house of bread, y'all? It's telling you where David is right now. He's in Virgo. Okay. And the Philistine drew near morning and evening and presented himself for 40 days. Why 40? Why come it couldn't be 42 days, 43 days? Why 40? You guys got to understand, this is telling you this for a reason. Okay. And Jesse said unto David his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah and a parched corn, and these 10 loaves. Notice we're in Virgo, 10 loaves, and run to the camp, because we were in Leo, because that's where David starts out at. But now we're going into Virgo. And run to the camp with thy brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain and their 1,000. Now we remember this, okay? Because I'm gonna show you guys tomorrow why it's saying 10 and their 1,000, okay? And look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge. Now Saul and they all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah fighting with the Philistines. David accepts the challenge. So, and David rose up in the morning. This is very particular to tell you that the sun rises up in the morning, okay? And the left sheep with the keeper in the took. And I mean, with the keeper, let me say this again. And David rose up in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper, and took and went into Jesse and commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight. He shouted for the battle, for Israel of the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. So it's confusion now, state of confusion, army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriages and ran out into the army and came and saluted his brethren. And he asked with them, behold, there came a champion of the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, and the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard those words. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him. They were afraid of him, and some sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man is come up? Surely to defy Israel he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make the father's house free in Israel. And David spake to the men that stood by him, what shall there be done with the man that killeth his Philistine, and taketh away the approach from Israel? Now, people don't trust that David can do this because he's small, right? So then what shall be done with the man who killed this Philistine and taking away his reproach from Israel? What would you do for the guy who killed this guy? For who is the uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? Now let's put this man down. And the people answered him for this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him. Right? Now, Eliab, his elder brother, heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and thy naughtiness from thine heart. Now notice this. Leo is represented by the idea of pride, as it is a boastful, courageous lion. And it says the naughtiness in thine heart. Leo represents your heart, family. Just like the sun is our main light in our sky, your heart is your main organ in your body, pumping blood throughout it. Okay, for thou art come down into thou mightiest to see the battle. And David said, what have I now done? Is there not a cause? And he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner of the people answer him again the former manner. David slays Goliath. Here we go. And when the words were heard which David spoke, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. They say David is a man after God's own heart, right? Now let no man's heart fail him, right? Because of him. Thy servant will go and fight this Philistine, right? And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight him, for thou art but a youth. You too young, son. It's still young. You still young. You're not a strong son, but he's the son, nevertheless, right? And he's the man of war from his youth. He's telling him that Goliath is a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep. He's telling him about his own life. So he says, thy servant, your servant kept his father's sheep. And there came a lion. Why a lion, family? Why did David slay a lion and a bear? And tomorrow, when I show you guys, you're going to see the bear constellation right up there by Leo. And it took the lamb from the flock and went after him. And I smote him. I killed a lion and a bear. Listen to this. Now, everybody think he can't beat Goliath. But David telling you, when ain't nobody even looking, this is filler. This ain't even the main show. This ain't Goku versus Frieza. Okay? This is Goku versus Zarbon. Y'all don't know Dragon Ball Z, so y'all don't understand this. You understand? You don't even matter. This is Goku versus Nappa, okay? You don't even get a lick in, sir. All right? You don't matter, sir. Okay? So this is a lion and a bear, and it's not even reported. Nobody knows about these feats. This is David out here, small in stature, but destroying lions and bears with his bare hand. Hercules did this. He destroyed a lion and a bear, guys. Now watch this. Like I said, they're Leos. And I went out after him and I smote him and I delivered it out of his mouth. I took the lamb out of this lion and bear's mouth. And when he rose against me, he killed the damn bear. He said when the lion rose against him, he said, I caught him by his beard. I smote him and I slew him. I grabbed this man by his beard, his mane. The servant slew both the lion and the bear. Thy servant has slain both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them. So I'm gonna treat him like I treated the lion and the bear, and they tried to steal my sheep from me. Seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God, David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hands of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord will be with thee. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put a helmet of brass on his head, armed him with a coat of mail, and David girded up his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go. Now watch this, for he had not proved it. So David did not want to go because he hasn't proven the weaponry. Okay, he's never used this sword. He's never used this chainmail. You understand? He's never used this helmet. You understand? Now you hear this story told again. You actually hear this story told again on the movie 300, because King Leonidas is Leo. King Leonidas. Notice he said, the helmet became stifling, and I could not see Xerxes. My staff became heavy. My sword became heavy, so I had to put it down. You guys remember this, right? This is exactly where King Leonidas was in this exact moment. They're just telling the story a little bit differently, family. Okay, it has not been proven. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him, and he took his staff in his hand. Didn't King Leonidas take his staff after he had put down that heavy sword, after he had became drained of his energy in that hot sun? And he chose him 5 smooth stones, five, completion. Watch this, 5, ratio, like I told you, 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5-fold ministry, right? Why don't we talk about this 5-fold ministry? Why 5? Because 5 means perfection. You understand? So now he picked up 5 smooth stones from the brook. Okay, and he put it in his shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a script, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. Now watch this. And the Philistine came down and drew near unto David, and the man that bare his shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him. He didn't like David, for he was but a youth. So he has the pride. It's not David with the pride, but they're both Leo. They're both representative of Leo family. This is why Leo in its lower vibration is prideful, but Leo in its highest vibration is courageous. Are you noticing this? So David is courageous. He's prideful because he's looking down on this youth. And they say, let no man despise your youth, right? But David was ruddy, and he was of fair countenance. He was a little handsome boy. He didn't look no dangerous at all, right? People talk about me like that. You're just not scary. You're not intimidating. Try me. Try me real quick. Get here with these 5 smooth stones right here. I call it a knuckle sandwich. And I'll be serving them up real quick, real good too. But anyway, and the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou hast cometh at me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. The Philistine cussing out David's gods, y'all. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give you my flesh into the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comes to me with the sword, with the spear, and with the shield. But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies. Now you guys are going to see this mighty man around this constellation of Virgo, and you saw him a while ago. You saw the centurion. That here is David that is Goliath the Philistine. Okay, but this day the Lord will deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and I will take thee head from thee. Now David telling this man what he gonna do to him, right? I'm gonna take your head off, and I will give the carcasses of the host to the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all of the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. Okay, and all the assembly shall know that God saveth not with the sword and the spear, but for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give it unto our hands. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose up and came and drew nigh to meet David, David hasted and ran towards the enemy to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone, and he slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead. Okay, and the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon the face of the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, and he smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore, David ran and stood upon the Philistines and took his sword, and he drew out his sword of the sheath thereof, and he slew him, and he cut his head therewith. Okay. And when the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they fled. They turned and ran because they was cowards anyway. All of them was weaponizing Goliath, believing through him. So now they took off running, and the men of Israel and Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until thou come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistine fell down by the way of the Sharam and gave unto Gad and unto Ekron. And the children of Israel returned, chasing after the Israelites, and they spoiled their tents. And David took the head of the Philistines and brought it to Jerusalem, and he put armor in his tent. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistines, he said to Abner, the captain of hosts, Abner, whose son is this youth? And we know this is when David really gets Saul's attention. We know this, right? Because David's going to be the next king of Israel, right? He's rising up. And Abner, as thou livest, O king, I tell you, the king said, I inquire those whose son is stripling us. And David returned to the slaughter of the Philistines. Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistines in his hand. And Saul said unto him, whose art thou? Whose son art thou, young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. You see that? The Bethlehemite, but that's Bethlehemite, because David is also born in Virgo. You see what I'm saying? His father Jesse was born in Virgo, but David is a Leo. You understand? But beautiful story, family. And when you know it, when you know what you're reading, and that is crazy. That I thought I had that on the screen the whole time. That's crazy. I'm sitting here reading that whole thing, and it's not. But hopefully, you guys got a Bible and you can follow along. Somebody says Goku and Zarbon. You're right. It's not even that, right? Come on now. Devin said Adam and Eve. You could do the same thing with Adam and Eve. And that story's simple. That's in Genesis when he made them, and you can see the numbers and everything was the same. And you know that when the Bible starts off, 6 days he made the earth. 6 days, because 6 is representative of earth, the lower level. And on the 7th day, God rested. He didn't do anything on the 7th day. He rested, right? Which shows you that God sees that day as holy. Okay. But tomorrow, I'm gonna upload a video that shows you more of this story in the celestial bodies, because I just have to read it. But you guys do realize those numbers are still the same, still virtually the same, right? Goliath was 6, David was 3, but this is young David. This is young David. We haven't met David at 12. And then David at 6 becomes the man who messed with Bathsheba. Now he's at his lower level. So after he gets Saul's wives and all, you're going to next time we'll start back off with the story of David, and we'll go through David. So next Saturday when we're doing this, we'll go with David and we'll watch David's life, and I'll show you guys that when it's at 6, when David starts, all the numbers like 6 and stuff start to circle David, you'll notice that this is when he starts to get this thing for Bathsheba, and not Bathsheba, but Bathsheba. He sees her bathing, and he has to have her, right? And so he sent for her, and he done some things for her, and they end up having Solomon, okay? And I'll show you guys that, all right? But anyway, family, my brain is feeling a little bit fried. I hope you guys got something out of this. Again, this is very much scratching the surface, okay? And so you guys are going to see this, because once we make it through this first little series, which is for beginners, we're going to go back through the same lives that we did, and I'm going to go even deeper and show you things that I'm not even showing you right now. I'm very careful not to even mention certain things right now, because I don't want to overwhelm you, okay? But put a 1 in the chat if you saw some similarities in here. Put a 1 in the chat if it makes sense to you. Put a 2 in the chat, however, if you can't see it yet. If it's going to take you a couple of more lectures probably to grasp it. Let me know if 2 means you're completely lost, you don't really see it yet. But 1 means I can see it. I can see a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's starting to make really a whole lot of sense. Now give me a 3 if you totally get it. If you totally can grasp this, it's like, yo, this is unfreaking deniable. Like it is unreal how this lines up. Like it's absolutely unreal. Put a 3 if you see it that way. I'm gonna wait and see. Victor says 3. It's unreal. I get it. Okay, good. I got 1s. I don't have any 2s, so that's good. I don't have anybody yet saying I just completely don't get it. You know, I'm glad a lot of you guys are starting to see it. Kingsdale North says 1. I can see it. I'm starting to learn it. Tiara says 3, and many of you guys, if you guys are putting 3, you probably are very familiar with zodiacs. You probably looked into it a lot, and you probably also grew up in church and heard a lot of these scriptures and heard a lot of these same numbers over and over, and probably wondered why such repetition. Why are all these numbers the same? Why is it 40 days and 40 nights and dang near every single story? Why is it 3? Why they got 3 sons? Why Jesus rose on the 3rd day? Why is it the Blessed Trinity, which is 3? Why is there 12? Why is there 12 families of Israel? Why is Jesus have 12 disciples? How come Jesus was speaking in temples at 12? Why couldn't he have been 13, 14, 19? Why did he have to be 12? Right? And you guys can see these number 3s popping up everywhere. You can see these 12s popping up, these 5s, these 7s. And it's really compelling stuff. You know what I mean? Lacey put a 1. Lakeisha put a 1. I'm glad you all start to see it, Lakeisha. Just came on. What's the subject about? Jennifer Glenn, I am closing out, love. But this was an amazing topic. I was reading the story of Noah's Ark through the perspective of the celestial bodies. So if you've ever questioned that and wanted to know more about the zodiac that is intertwined and interwoven into the Bible, I think this will be a good live for you, but you'll have to go back, love. I am exhausted. I am tired. I'm fatigued. And so I'm about to call it a night. Guys, I go to bed pretty early. So even when I put that I was going to do this at 9, I already knew that I'm probably making a bad move. I'm out of there by You know what that means? That means it's any time, right? Don't let me get comfortable. Don't let me get comfortable after 6. Don't let me. I'm an old man. Don't let me get too comfortable around 6, 7, 8. It's a wrap. I'm out of there. Now I'll be back up around 5 looking stupid because ain't nobody up with me. Okay, mad. No, I ain't mad. I find something to do. We're certified in the unity of Christ. King, blessings to you. Blessings to you, Victor. Again, thank all you guys for watching. I hope you guys tune in on the next one because we're going to finish up David. And I'm going to also show you guys the celestial bodies using my phone. And next time, in the meantime, download that book, download that app called Skyview or Sky Tonight. Download that app, start tinkering with it. And I also want you guys to download this other app called The Pattern. Okay, we got about 100 people on here right now. Download this app called The Pattern. It looks like a little wave of ink. It's an amazing zodiac app for building friendships, relationships, learning more about yourself and other people and how they might even see you. But don't download this Pattern app, man, if you don't send me a friend request. Okay, so even if you don't like me that much, send me a friend request, and this thing will tell you why you don't like me that much. It'll tell you why I put you off, why I make you feel uncomfortable in areas, why I rub you the wrong way, and it'll tell you why. So it's very compelling. It will blow your mind, yo. So it's called The Pattern. Okay, download that app, and then make sure you type in Kevin. Am I Kevin Wesley on here? Let me see. I'm Kevin Genie. So I'm Kevin Genie on here. My username is Kevin Genie. So it's no space either, just Kevin Genie. So it works really great if you know the time you were born as well. It's even more accurate. Okay. So make sure you guys friend me and we're gonna build. So once I accept you, it'll immediately start showing you how you see me, and it'll show me how I see you. And I think it shows you too, but you get to see more about yourself and other people too. Y'all befriend each other through this app. It's pretty cool, man. Like I said, it's called The Pattern. And if you guys are wanting to look and learn how to learn more about yourself and things like that through the zodiac. It's really dope. It has an audio library. It has a great chart for creating and showing you kind of what to do when it's the best time to invest, when it's the best time to start a business, when you probably shouldn't be starting a business. You know how they be like, Mercury in retrograde, communication gonna be fucked up. Like this will tell you that. It'll tell you don't try to have that deep conversation with your spouse at this time, or it will tell you now is the time to have that conversation, right? The pattern, yes, the pattern. Is that what you call it? Yes, it's called the pattern, the pattern. And let me put it in there. What's the name? I know one of y'all. Pattern. People say pattern. I don't know why they say that. You got to look at the patterns, but some of y'all said, I love y'all, so just forget I said that, but it's just pattern. It's the Virgo in me. Here we go. The pattern. That's what the app is called, y'all. The pattern. Okay. Yeah, the pattern. So get that app, family. Let me know what you think of it. And I'll see you guys next time. Again, I'm doing this on Saturday. I probably won't go 9 next Saturday. It's either going to be 12, 6, or 9. My life working threes too. So last time I did 12 o'clock, I'll probably try and do 12 again. But if not, it's going to be either 12, 3, 6, or 9. I'll work it out though. I will let you guys know. There will be an app that will be up there and you'll see it. So my Saturn return was a few years ago. And that's when I came across you. Look at there. 7. Saturn is the 7th sign. And that's a powerful sign. Saturn is. Okay. And I could, you're gonna get me started up. I don't even want to say another word because I'll be on here another 10 minutes. Guys, listen, I love y'all. Thank you for your time. I know that some of the things I teach may rub you the wrong way. It may challenge you. You may not be ready for it. But forgive me, family. I am who I am. I can't change who I am. And I love to teach. I love to teach. And my goal is to teach you things that you don't already know. Okay. If you don't see it the way I see it, that's fine. You're welcome to challenge me. You're welcome to do a rebuttal on my video and prove me wrong. I don't mind it. It's all about growth here, family. All right. So the next time, look forward to it. I'm going to bring some of you guys up on the panel so you can tell me kind of what part stood out to you, what intrigued you. And I would do that tonight, but I am very, very tired. Okay. So listen, guys, I love you. I want to say this. I want to give a moment of silence real quickly for my friend Monique, Jamie's friend Monique. Her mother did pass. That was either yesterday or the day before. And I just want to give a moment of silence for her and wish her strength. Losing your mother, family, is extremely difficult. It is something that you would absolutely never get over. She had been in the hospital with her mother for some time. And so her mother has now passed on. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to give her a moment of silence, and then we're going to end this live. Okay, guys? Here we go. Mo, we wish you strength. We wish you strength while you transition your mother. Please forever keep her in your mind. Commune with her. When you eat your favorite foods, you share them with her still. When you drink her favorite drinks, you share them with her still. And I promise you, you will feel so connected, divinely connected to her. It's truly sad to see someone lose their matriarch, man. Our mothers are very important to us, and many of us are never the same once we lose them. I don't care how old we are when we lose them. I don't care how we lose them. It's devastating. And I try to encourage people, those things that your mother loved while she was alive, still share those things with her and meditate on her and think about her while you consume those things. And you say to mama, if you was here right now, I would share with you. And so you put some off. That's called libations. You take some off of your plate, okay? And you put it, you do away with it, okay? You set that to the side for her, and that's how you share with her. You hear in our culture, it's kind of dumbed down and perverted, but we say, I'm pouring out some liquor for my dead homies. That is a perverted representation of what libations look like, okay? So libations is actually taking perfumes and foods that your parents once ate and enjoyed, and drinks that they once drank and enjoyed. and you consume some of those foods and you don't eat it all, you practice discipline, and you say, you know what, if my mama was here, I would have offered it to you. And I promise you, it'll make you feel so much more divinely connected. I'm just trying to tell you guys, it helps. It helps, family. Nothing can get you over it, but it does help. All right. And then remember her greatest moments and try to be the physical embodiment of her. Try to live out what she taught you, and she will never, ever die. She will never die as long as you keep her character alive, her principles alive, and her morals alive. Okay. Strength to you, Mo. We love you over here. We always will. And we'll see you soon. And Jamie, I, and Lacey, and the Rise family even invite you here to spend some days with us as soon as you are able, love. Okay? Be encouraged, and you call us if you need anything at all. Okay, family. Peace to you guys. I love you all. Y'all have an amazing day, amazing night now. And I'll see you guys next time. Remember, next Saturday, we'll continue to build on this teaching that is the esoteric look through the Bible for beginners. Okay? Here we go, family. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.